What is up, party people? It's Dan, your bass pick guitar superstar. Today we are going to take a look at this wonderful guitar right here. This is the Chapman ML2J Modern from Chapman Guitars. It is a single cut modeled after a Les Paul Jr., for those of you that are not familiar with what the J means. And the cool thing about this guitar is this actually belonged to Mr. Rob Chapman himself. I was able to get this because my buddy Charlie Busuttil, who owns Band-Aid Music on the island of Malta, has an agreement with Mr. Chapman where anytime Rob uses a guitar on the channel, or a lot of times when he uses the channel, if he's done using it, he will sell it to Charlie, who will then sell it to one of his customers. I was lucky enough to be able to procure this one. So Rob, thank you for doing that. This is the original prototype for this guitar, which is a Thomann exclusive, actually. So they made this in this deep cherry, and then also a really beautiful darker green color. It almost looked a little bit turquoise. Anyway, we're going to plug this in and play it for you. Here's the specs on the guitar. So you got an ash body, maple neck that's set in. You can probably see that in the back with the curvature. An ebony fretboard, it looks like. Massacre ebony. I don't know if it's Massacre ebony, but it is ebony. It's a C-shaped neck. It's not a Louisville Slugger thick, and it's not like 50s, 60s Les Paul reissue thick. But it's somewhere between that and like an Epiphone Les Paul Classic, like the new, if you're familiar with the Warren series, those necks are just a skosh thinner than this. So if you're familiar with that series, you should know what I'm talking about. Then it's got a Chapman Stentorian Zero Humbucker that also, via push-pull pot, becomes a single coil. And then you just got your volume and your tone knob here. And Chapman 18:1 ratio tuners on the back. A beautiful black hardware on there. So I'm excited to test this out. I have not tried this through an amplifier yet, and I want to see how it sounds. So this will be kind of a first impression video for you. I know I've played around with it a little bit dry, not with an amp, in other words. And so I'm excited to plug it into the Puritan Model 1, which is my new tube amp I've been using since NAMM, also making its debut on the channel tonight. We have a brand new piece of gear besides the guitar. I'm using a Shure SM57 now to mic the Puritan, see if it'll cut down on some of that strumming noise that you guys are so familiar with on the channel. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, give me a second to get this guy hooked up. As always, if you felt entertained by this video, if you got some value out of it, or it helped you get through a crappy day at work or something, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button for me. Hit the little bell symbol so you know when I have additional videos coming up. I'm starting to grow at a pretty decent clip, and I really appreciate the support. I absolutely love doing the channel, and I got a ton of content coming up, so I'm excited to bring that to you guys. So yeah, give me a second to get this guy plugged in and tuned up, and we will bring you... Oh, I forgot to mention, for drive today, we're going to be using the Voltan drive from my buddy Joseph Enriquez over at Calavera Effects. You guys saw that on the channel probably about a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, depending on when this video publishes. If you have not, I will post a link specifically to the deep dive on that pedal. One of the best overdrives I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, that's what we're using for overdrive. As always, we have the Siren pedals Anvil plugged in for compression as well. So I'll post a link to where you can get that as well. But yeah, give me a second to get tuned up, and we will bring you back and show you how this guy sounds. All right, party people, we're back. We got the Chapman Guitars ML2J, or Monkey Lord 2J. I just love that name that Rob came up with. Got that guy plugged in. We have the Anvil and the Voltan drive plugged in. The Anvil is set to volume at about 1140, sustain at about 1230, and the heck is that? Release at about 2. The Voltan drive, everything at noon except for the volume is just a skosh before noon. So anyway, I'm going to play you clean tones first. This is on humbucker mode. Alright, let's try it. Full humbucker mode with the Voltan on. Ooh, man, this is nice and thick for just being a single humbucker. Let's try some stuff up on the higher frets here. Cool. Let us do this now. We're going to set it on... Actually, you know what? Let's do the gain a little bit more subtly on here. No, that's wrong button. My bad. Let's do the gain at about 10 on the Voltan. That end was kind of barf-tastic, I apologize. Yeah, this pickup's got some bite. I really like it. Let's try the single coil mode now and see what that sounds like. I have the tone dimed all the way. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference between the single coil and the humbucker. Anyway, we're done. I'm done screwing around. Give me a second to get this guy unplugged, and I will bring you back and let you know what my final thoughts are. Alright, party people, we're back. That was the Chapman Guitars ML2J Modern. So, as you could see, it is a Les Paul style guitar, Les Paul Jr. style guitar. Let's talk about it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. I really like it, especially with distortion. Without distortion, honestly, it's it's kind of meh for me on first impression anyway. I'm sure the more I play it, the better I will like it. This humbucker definitely has some bite to it, though. It's nice, especially when distortion's turned on. And I think it sounds good both in single coil or coil tap and non-coil tap mode. I think it sounds really good. I like both those settings. I'm going to try and use this one on the channel quite a bit while still maintaining some semblance of nicety. And what I mean by that, I'm going to try and keep this as nice as possible. Obviously, because it was one of the first prototypes of this style guitar that Chapman did for Thomann. It is a Thomann exclusive, so I do plead ignorance if there are none of these left on Thomann's website. If I can find a link to that, I will post it in the description if they're still available. If not, I don't know what to tell you. But I really like this. I'm going to use it a lot. If you found this video valuable or you were entertained by it in some way, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button for me and the little bell symbol so you know when I have additional content coming out. Really like this guitar, and I really appreciate the support so far. I'm starting to grow pretty steady, and it's been amazing. You guys have been awesome commenting, good, bad, or ugly. You know who you are. Appreciate all of you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have fun playing.